Well, hey pals, Peeps here. Thanks for dropping into the second World Cup pitch, a little series we're doing here during the World Cup. I thought it was bobblehead worthy. Anyhow, we're going to start things off with a card from the 80s, a few cards from the 90s, and part of this box, this has got 6 packs in it. It is the Donruss World Cup release. Anyway, let's keep this bobblehead moving over here, for crying out loud. We've got the 1966 Epoca Pele that I showed in the last episode. Just a beautiful shot of Pele in a World Cup year. And the first card on the board, I don't believe I've ever shown before on the channel. This was in the the to be sent into PSA pile. This is the 1986 Edizione Flash. It's an Italian release. Diego Maradona. It's from the World Cup season. Here's the back, Mexico 1986. This being Mexico being the host nation in 1986. And so it's an Italian issue for the World Cup in 1986. And of course, Maradona was the Golden Ball winner and won the World Cup, of course, with Argentina, and is a legend for it and many other accomplishments. But anyhow, I thought this was a fabulous portrait. It's a little tilted, but this is a really tough one to find in a nicely centered fashion, let's say. Here's the back again. Super proud of this one. It really fits my collecting focus in that it's from a huge season and a huge accomplishment is attached to this particular issue. All right, next we're gonna skip all the way to 1994, the last time the US hosted a World Cup. And we'll start out with these two from Team USA and longtime goal-scoring record holder for Team USA, Eric Wynalda. So these are both from the Upper Deck World Cup issue from 1994. This is like a subset on the right called Golden Boots. Sort of like a bunch of goal scorers in their own subset from the 1994 issue of Upper Deck. Gotta keep this bobblehead going, Jesus.
You said it, man.
Anyhow, and this is the base card from that set. Now, the US went a little bit World Cup crazy, and there were a handful of issues around the World Cup in 1994, and of course being the height of the quote-unquote junk wax era, the printing presses were working 24/7, and you might find this hard to believe, but I've got some more. You've got your Minute Maid issue, and I can't remember how I got these, but these are from childhood, and I think they came with orange juice, like maybe a 2-pack of orange juice or something like that. Am I crazy?
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
But anyhow, we've got Roberto Baggio on the right, Italian footballing legend Roberto Baggio. Great image of Baggio there. Really got a nice looking card there with the Minute Maid across the left. But Roberto Baggio, I love this one. And again, this is just one I had since 1994. And then, of course, Romario. Brazilian legend Romario won the World Cup this year, and just a magician on the pitch. And in high school, when I was playing soccer, we all wanted to be Romario. Hey, look, I got another Romario. The subset, the Golden Boots subset, the same as the Wynalda. This one's a bit off center, but having had it since 1994, I'll hold on to it as sort of a basement files card. All right, we're gonna step back 1 year for this next one to the 93 Upper Deck World Cup preview set, which came out just before the base set, I guess you would say. How about none other than future star Josep Pep Guardiola. The sort of Pep Guardiola pre-rookie? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what would be considered Pep's rookie, but you know, Pep Guardiola, football legend, not known as much for his playing career, but has been, you know, like the Phil Jackson of world football, and you know, just a mastermind of the game. So I love this one. This was an old Com-C pickup. I think this was a Com-C pickup for a couple of bucks years and years ago. And just a cool one, I think, for the collection. Again, I'm working on these labels. I'm excited to resolve that here. I think it would be a nice project to complete. But anyhow, Pep Guardiola, future star. And then, of course, we had to do Pep in the base set. That's his base card for the World Cup release, Upper Deck 1994. If you're looking for it, it is card number, what does that say? 167? Crying out loud. Need my glasses. Anyway, Pep. Kind of a great portrait of him, too. Kind of a sneaky great card, actually. Both of these. I'm into it. All right, last but not least, before we get to the Blaster, a very well-loved card in my collection. Not well-loved in the sense that I've worn it down or anything, but this was a target for me years ago, and it so happens to sort of stayed with my collecting focus. I don't know if that happens to you guys, but like occasionally, like you'll look back at a card and be like, man, I really nailed that one, you know? And this is one of those. This is the 1998 Panini World Cup stickers, Thierry Henry. It's in an SGC 8.5. I love SGC for world football cards and stickers, at least, you know, before they were standardized as cards. In this case, the sticker looks fantastic in the holder, in my opinion, and really well-centered copy on top of it. Of course, Henry won the World Cup in 1998 alongside Zinedine Zidane. So there it is, a bunch of goats on the board. I think we'll open half of this blaster box, 3 packs, and save the other 3 for the next World Cup pitch. All right, here are the details if you're curious. I will tell you, I found these nowhere and had to order online, actually. 2025-26 Donruss FIFA World Cup. This has some exclusive parallels, as you can see there. And here are odds. Will it focus? So 6 packs. Pretty full there. It is a fairly heavy little box. 6 packs, 15 cards per pack. That's like old school baseball packs. 15 cards per pack. Kind of appreciate that, actually. Let's get right to it and see what we have. Very exciting. Araujo for Uruguay. The classic Donruss sort of diagonal striping on this design. Pedri from Spain. Nice one there. Facundo Pellistri, another one from another player from Uruguay. We've got Ramos, Portugal. We've got sort of an icy parallel here of, who is that? Leroy Sané, German winger. There's the shine on that. That's pretty good, actually. Not bad. Put Sane in the back. Jamal Musiala, another German superstar. And that is on an optic. If you can see the logo in the lower right-hand corner. Not a bad player there, certainly. A very young superstar in Musiala. John McGinn on another optic, Scotland. And we've got Brendan Aronson, Team USA, on the zero gravity parallel. There is a little bit of sparkle there. We've got another insert here of Bruno Guimaraes, excellent midfielder playing for Newcastle at the moment. All right, next we have another insert. Is that a Rookie King? Rookie King, Nick Voltemada, also playing for Newcastle at the moment, playing for Germany, of course. Excellent striker, sort of big, tall, imposing striker in the box. With some pretty good footwork too, honestly. Foot skills, ball skills. All right, we're blabbing now. We got Mora from Mexico. Mexico absolutely taking care of business. Mexico is on fire right now. And this is a rated rookie as well. Classic rated rookie of that. Enciso from Paraguay. Enciso has seen time in the Premier League. And was it for Brighton? But anyway, excellent player from Paraguay. We've got Manuel Akanji from Switzerland. Akanji, excellent defensive player for Man City. And what else? John McGinn, Scotland. We got the optic of him earlier. And Victor Osimhen from Nigeria. Osimhen is an incredible striker and has had a very nice career thus far. Still fairly young. All right, first pack, 2 inserts on the board. Let's check out pack number 2 from the blaster. Again, 15 cards per pack. Pretty nice. Plenty of cards in these blasters. 90 cards in the blaster, so. All right, Serge Gnabry. Serge Gnabry, another excellent player for Germany. Nice card there. Alexander Isak, superstar striker in the Premier League, plays for Sweden. Sweden, are they going to make it through? I'm not sure, are they? Oh, we've got a Weston McKennie. So McKennie will make the board there. Team USA, excellent. Nicely centered as well, so that's cool. And we've got a Declan Rice. Is he the captain of England right now? No, he's not. Harry Kane is the captain, I believe. Declan Rice, I could see as the next captain for England. Of course, league champion with Arsenal and a midfield monster, frankly. Awesome player. All right, here we have this kind of icy-edged parallel. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but we've got a Sturgeon, Swiss player, rated rookie. I love that Donruss has maintained that rated rookie that we all know and love from the 80s. All right, an optic here, Victor Gyökeres. Excellent striker on the ball. Great hold-up play, but needs to work on his finishing skills and just putting the ball in the back of the net. Kobel, Swiss goalkeeper in the optic. That's pretty cool. Love my goalies. Another Craftsman insert. And this is Flores of Honduras. I really like the design of this insert. Looks like we have a Net Marvels of Jordan Pickford. England goalie Jordan Pickford. The Net Marvels are super cool. They do it every World Cup issue. And of course, they're leaning into the comic book illustrative design. We've got a Rookie Kings with a red border. And this is Man, that's tough. Troy Parrott, the Republic of Ireland. How do you like that? That's pretty cool. Not numbered, but red parallel of a Rookie King card, which is sort of like a Diamond King, but they do Rookie Kings. I like that. I like that history. We've got a rated rookie of Ivanovic from Serbia. We've got a Marcus Thuram, France. Menjivar of Honduras. Paz, Argentina. And Suarez of Colombia. No additions from Pack 2. Tells you how I feel about that Pack 2. All right, here we go. Pack 3. David Raya, Spanish goalkeeper, league winner, Arsenal goalkeeper. David Raya, that's a cool one. How about Freddy Valverde from Uruguay? That's fantastic. Plays for Real Madrid, is a great defensive. He's on the back line or towards the back line, but has a total rocket for a shot and scores from distance, and is super exciting to watch. Like when Freddy Valverde strikes the ball, you're on your toes. Nuno Mendes, Portugal. Flip it around. Nunez from Uruguay. Darwin Nunez, of course, formerly of Liverpool fame, and eventually went to Saudi Arabia, I believe, and is still playing there. Very talented striker, Darwin Nunez. How about an optic of Di Lorenzo for Italy? And what do we have here? Shea Charles, Northern Ireland optic. And how do you like this? We got Jared Bowen. I'm a West Ham fan, so Jared Bowen is a big, high on my list of guys I like to pay attention to in the Premier League. And now we'll be in the championship unless Jared Bowen goes somewhere else, because West Ham was relegated. I'm not sure what clause is in Jared Bowen's contract, but there's probably something, because he is a fabulous player and is certainly not probably going to spend his time in the championship. Dominators, Morgan Rogers, midfielder for England, plays for Aston Villa, a fabulous midfielder, really fun to watch, and this is a cool insert. I love these inserts, especially since like Dominators goes way back, to the 90s. Am I wrong about that? I think it does. We have the Magicians insert, Victor Osimhen. Again, fabulous striker. We've got a Rookie Kings, or Pitch Kings, rather, of Di Lorenzo, who we just saw. So Pitch Kings is like the equivalent of Diamond Kings, right? Pitch being, the soccer pitch. We've got Vuskovic from Croatia, rated rookie. How about Vinny Jr., superstar for Brazil, Vinny Jr. Brazil is looking very good, even with Rafinha being injured. I think Brazil has a real chance here to win the whole thing, frankly. We've got Manu Kone from France. We've got Iwobi, Nigeria. And we've got Raspadori from Italy. Not familiar. Forgive me, Giacomo Raspadori. All right, there you have it. Inserts on the left, base on the right. A fairly uneventful 3 packs into this blaster. We'll see how we do next time. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. Happy World Cupping. Peace.